We will call the village board meeting to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Gus.
Here.
Trustee Jameson.
Here.
Trustee Miller.
Here.
Trustee Alderson is absent. Trustee City. Here. Trustee Wells.
Here. If you'd all please stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first order of business tonight is the consent agenda, which you have in your packet. Now would be the time for any item to be pulled and discussed separately if the board would so choose. There not being any, is there anyone from the public that would like to have any of these items pulled and discussed separately? There being none, we need a motion to approve the minutes of the consent agenda. Motion and a second. I have one correction that I would like to add under the Tiff report. If we could change the word district to committee. That was the only correction I had. Any other discussion or corrections? All right. Clerk, if you'd please call the roll.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee City. Aye. Trustee Wells.
Aye. Motion carries. Allie, it's not 7:05 yet, but we do have a public hearing scheduled for 7:05, which will be on the topic of electric aggregation of the plan of governance. So we can take just a couple minutes pause, and then we will convene that hearing at 7:05. Okay, we'll go ahead and call the public hearing to order. I need to call roll again. Let the record reflect that roll has been called. There's a quorum present. All the trustees are still here. So this hearing we'll turn over to our Administrative Services Director, John Kinseth, to introduce the topic and field any questions.
Mayor, before you there is a plan of operations and governance, which is basically the parameters for which the municipal aggregation program would operate if the voters vote in favor of this on April 9th. The draft of this document has been available for about a week on the village website. There's also copies here at Village Hall for the public to review and certainly comment on. This is the first of two public hearings. The second public hearing would be April 11th. The plan of operations kind of defines the parameters for which the municipal aggregation program will operate under. It defines kind of the opt-out process, the determination of charges, what are the charges that residents can expect to see under the electric supplier arrangement, whether or not residents would be allowed to move in and out of the village free of termination fees, things like that. Many of the guidelines set up in this plan of operations will then be our bid documents. When we go out to bid to electrical suppliers, they will be based on this document. And so certainly this is the time period when any resident that has comments, now would be the time to express those. Certainly they can, those comments can come into Village Hall either by phone, email, any of those methods, and we would welcome those between now and the second public hearing.
Okay. If there's any resident that has comments tonight, we'd certainly be willing to hear them. All I would ask is that you would come to the podium, state your name and your address and your comments or questions.
Yes, Johan, resident. I was looking over the ICC site, and it looks like there is a multitude of suppliers. Is there some method, are we going to try to hit them all with this bid process, or has research gone on to see who the best 5 are?
Yeah.
And also, are we looking towards a 1-year contract, 3-year contract? I'm kind of interested, too, on the decision criteria, you know,
Right.
what we're looking at, because I know it's not just the lowest price.
Right.
Thank you.
Sure. John, I can address part of that. The plan of operation and governance includes options to keep it flexible for the village board during this process and for staff, allowing for anywhere from 1 to multiple bidders. Obviously, some may not be interested, some may be very interested. We also have the ability to pool with other communities that may be doing the same process at the same time. And so there's a lot of variables that won't be known until after the referendum as to the mechanics of how long and who would be participating in the bid process. Did you want to add anything to that, John?
The ICC does rank and certify suppliers, and we would only use an ICC certified supplier. The ICC will also help to solicit our bid for us to make sure that we get the exposure to all of the big suppliers. That's the answer to the first part of the question. The second part of the question, as far as terms, as Mayor Hucker said, this document doesn't define whether it would be a 1, 2, or a 3-year term. A lot of times when you put together the bid, you will do multiple arrangements. You'll do a 1-year bid. That same supplier will also turn in a 2-year price, a 3-year price, or even a 5-year price. Electricity is a little bit different than, I think, any of the other markets that we deal with, in that energy prices are going up. So as opposed to the longer your contract is, the higher the price is. Whereas everything else, the longer you get into something, the cheaper it usually is. So that is a little bit different scenario, and so certainly a shorter term, you're going to see a cheaper price than a 2-year or longer term. There is a couple of these draft versions in the back on the table as well.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I do. Oh, the customer, sorry.
Evening. Sure. Louis Alberson, live in 38201 North Loyola. With regards to the electrical bidding, are we still going to have ComEd responsible for the lines, or are these bidders going to be responsible for the lines?
No, Commonwealth Edison will be the mechanical side of the equation, if you will. They're not doing they wouldn't necessarily be generating any power in this situation. The power would be wheeled through their lines. They would be billing you. They would be maintaining the lines. You'd still call 800 Edison 1 if there was an outage or a problem. So that side will stay the same. The only change would be who on that bill is getting paid for the actual electricity, and that electrical charge, if you will.
Okay, because 'tis the season, it's spring, so we know we're getting vegetation growing around the lines.
Yeah.
I know, having suffered the great storm and having lost power for almost a week last time, I'm just concerned that, again, foliage is going to come up, it's going to, cover the lines again, and now we have subcontractors
No.
responsible for lines. So again, that's what my concern is.
No.
Okay.
Good, thank you. Anyone else? Okay.
I have one.
Yes.
Going back to the number of bidders, John, in your experience in your past life, what kind of response did you have in terms of numbers to the bids?
As number of respondents?
Of responding suppliers?
I think that 4 to 5 is typically what you're going to see. You're not going to see the 15 or the 18 that the ICC has certified. But the last time I did it, we were in a larger pool than Beach Park was. This could change the dynamics that we're a smaller community. Certainly, if we aggregate with other communities, again, that could change whether the larger suppliers are interested in us or the smaller suppliers.
And one other question I had, looking at your plan here, in terms of cost to the village, I see that one option under Section 2 is engaging the services of a consultant, that sort of thing. Have you an idea of what kind of costs the village will incur in this process?
That was really the consultants can be structured a number of different ways. At this point, the village had no intentions of hiring a consultant for this time around. We are already basically halfway through the process. Once the referendum is determined, then certainly the intention is to have staff finish up those documents, including the bid documents. The reason the consultant is in there is for future years. That would give the flexibility of the village to hire a consultant in 2 years when we're going through this process again for a second bid.
So the answer is, right now, just staff time?
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other discussion from the board? All right. Then I will close the public hearing on the electrical aggregation, and we will move to the... Oh, God, you guys just don't talk long enough. We got another 2-minute pause before the 7:15 hearing for the proposed budget. So talk quietly amongst yourselves, and we'll be right back.
That sounds up good. Yeah.
And we're back. It is 7:15. We'll go ahead and open the proposed 2013-2014 budget hearing. This is a public hearing to present and allow discussion on the budget. Peggy, were you wanting to do the introduction then? Okay.
Okay, before you, Mayor and trustees, is the proposed budget, which is pretty much the same as our workshop, and it's been on file with the village clerk for any public to come in and take a look at it. And just as a quick summary of the revenues and expenses in the budget, the overall total revenues are budgeted to increase nearly 1%, while expenses are budgeted to actually decrease about 10%. And in the general fund, we're budgeting an increase of 4.2% in revenues, while the expenses are budgeted just to increase 3.8%. And our general fund revenues are increasing due to higher income tax and sales tax revenues, which has pretty much been the flow of this year's experience. And we expect that to continue based on all the IML estimates at this time. And then in the water sewer fund, our revenues there are budgeted at a slight increase, while expenses are budgeted to decrease 1.4%. And so overall, the village continues to manage, its expenses and live within its means, and continues to do all this without a property tax levy. And Beach Park is one of only 7 communities in the state of Illinois without a property tax levy. So that's just kind of a quick overview of the budget.
Well, that's a list every municipality should try to be at the top of. Thank you.
Sure.
One question, and if you're not prepared to answer it, that's okay, but what is our projection for the end of this fiscal year as far as our general fund? Do you have that in?
Well, yes, in the February report, which was part of the consent agenda, we're still projecting a surplus. I hate to say the number because it's significant, but we're seeing those increases still in the income tax revenue and sales tax revenue. So it's currently about 300,000.
Yep.
So I don't see any change, but we might want to make some strategic decisions.
Absolutely.
In regards to that.
Yep. Well, that's how we build our fund balances, so very good. Now would be the time for any citizen that has any questions or comments. Oh, before I go there, did we receive any written comments? Okay. And no written comments received. Now would be the time for any citizen that would like to make comment or basically make comment on the budget as it exists now. Please come to the podium, state your name and your address and your question or your comment. Don't all jump at once. All right. Well then, would accept a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick. Aye. And Trustee Wells.
Public hearing closed at 7:20. Okay. We will then resume the village board meeting already in progress. We'll move on to the trustee reports. And first we have the building and zoning report from Trustee Wells.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have but one item for your consideration, which consists of the 2013 zoning map changes and amendments. This is a update of the zoning map of changes that have taken place in the updating of our zoning map. Those include the update of the base map data, with the new GIS data from the county, which includes roads, municipal boundaries, et cetera, and the adjusted parcel boundary lines that's reflected on 3 new lot consolidations. And I'd like to bring this forth in the form of a motion, a resolution approving the...
14.
Resolution 14, approving the 2013 Village of Beach Park zoning map updates.
We have a motion.
Second.
And several seconds. Any discussion?
I have one question.
Sure.
Were there any changes to parcel zoning in this new map? Or is
No.
it- No.
I don't believe we had any map amendments or any zoning changes, if you would, this last year at all.
Yeah, only lot consolidation.
A lot consolidation, taking 2 pins and combining them into one. Yeah, we had a very quiet year. So, all right, any other questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gus.
Aye. And
Motion carries.
that concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Wells. Next, we have TIF Committee report. I have no report on behalf of the TIF Committee tonight. Public Works Trustee Otterson is not here, and I believe staff is picking up the 2 items that would fall under that report. Finance Committee, Trustee Jensen.
I would like to offer for consideration ordinance to approve the budget that we just heard about.
This ordinance 6.
Right. Have a motion to approve the 2013-2014 budget as presented.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? I will just offer a comment, and that is to thank Peggy specifically and John and the rest of the staff for this process. I know it's a hiring process. It's minutia, and that's what Peggy loves. So, and to the rest of the staff as well, because this is always a challenging process for them, looking ahead, trying to build a budget that meets the board's criteria and to weigh in on capital projects and the like. So, thank you very much for all your work, Peggy. All right. Any other discussion? All right. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
And Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Motion carries. What ordinance was
Ordinance 6.
6? Thank you. Anything else from Finance?
No, sir.
All right. The next would be Public Safety. Trustee Siddick.
Thank you. I just have just one update, and that was on the recent seniors internet safety class that was held here at Beach Park Village Hall. I had the Sheriff's Office come in and conduct a whole PowerPoint presentation, and that was a huge success. We certainly had a full house, and I was able to obtain some additional handouts for those who were not able to attend, and those will be available on the counter at Village Hall. And that concludes my report.
All right. Thank you. Public Relations, Economic Development. Trustee Miller.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just to give the board an update on the new website, we're still looking towards Monday, April the 1st. I know that's coming up really quick. That is an aggressive date, but things are flowing smoothly, as I understand from our Administrative Services Director. Staff is also working on setting up some social media sites, which will be a brand-new addition to the website. And I'm also told that they're going to add new services to the e-pay feature, which will include accepting payments for ordinance violations and also business licenses. So we are rapidly moving forward with our technology, and this website will also, when it's fully grown and launched, be able to be accessed through mobile devices. So we have a lot to look forward to. And I will provide more as time goes by.
The go-live date on April Fool's Day is
We're
truly a
supposed to point
coincidence.
that out.
However, If it turns out poorly, we could say it was all just an April Fool's joke. Thank you very much.
That ends my report.
Okay. Parks and Rec,
Thank
Trustee
you, Your
Gus.
Honor. Just to update, St. Patrick's Day went well. We had 142 people come. Everybody had a great time, so I heard. I wasn't there. Special needs movie we had last Saturday. We had 54 children attend. It was a very good movie. I enjoyed it myself. And good turnout. Everybody had a great time at that one. And last but not least, we have our Easter egg hunt Saturday at Founders Park at 9 a.m. It looks like, maybe I better not say nothing just in case I get jinxed. But it looks like we're going to have a beautiful day for it.
It does look like a beautiful day.
That ends my report.
And a word to the wise, don't be a minute or too late, or it'll be over, and the exodus will have begun. So, yep. I've never seen anything like it. That was quite an event last year. All right, and now we go on to staff reports. We have village engineer.
Thank you, Your Honor. The first item I have is requesting a motion authorizing execution of the IEPA loan pre-applications for water system improvements. They were included in the board packet. The pre-application, just as a reminder, does not obligate the village to spending any money, but it does allow you to continue to pursue IEPA loans for any one of those projects at any time in the next year. It just keeps you on the IEPA's loan priority list, so we recommend that we go ahead and authorize those. Those are the same 4 projects that we have actually been submitting on to IEPA on these forms for the last 4 years. So unless there's any questions.
I have one.
Yes.
Marcia, the village is under no obligation, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And this is a lower interest rate, assuming that we would be approved. This is a lower interest rate than we would normally buy bonds at, et cetera, correct?
Yes, in fact, right now, their interest rate is 1.93%.
Good time. Okay, so we need basically a motion to authorize these applications to be submitted.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or question? Roll call, please.
Trustee Sidik.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
And Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item was also in the board packets. There was a request from the property owner at 37885 North Wilson Avenue, requesting that the village consider the vacation of the right-of-way of Eastwood Road directly east of Wilson Avenue. Following the village's procedure, the road vacation committee met, reviewed the request, and based on the criteria for road vacation, this request does not meet the recommended criteria. And in fact, on the village's road extension master plan, the continuation of this roadway, or the extension of this roadway, is actually considered one of the priority road extensions. So based on that and the itemized comments in the memo that was included in the board packets, we actually recommend that the village board deny the request.
So we have a recommendation from the engineer and the road vacation committee to deny the request of road vacation from the property owner at, that was 37885 North Wilson. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Sidik.
Aye.
Motion to deny carries.
Thank you. And then the last item is just an update. The village agreed a couple meetings ago to participate in the Lake County Municipal League cooperative purchasing program for crack sealing. They received bids for that. The low bid was at a unit price of $1.15, so $1.15 per pound. So the total effect to the village will be about $8,000, which is considerably under the amount that we had budgeted for that. So we got very good bids, and the low bidder was Beam Pavement, who actually has done work in the village and did last year's crack sealing for the village, and the village was very happy with them. So That's just an FYI, we already assigned the agreement, so we've notified Lake County Municipal League that we want to proceed.
Well, this is just another example that of what we're trying to do here as a village, cooperative purchasing, in this case through the Illinois Municipal League, Lake County Municipal League,
Yes.
To pool the work and try to get more attractive bids.
I have a question, Mayor. Are you limited to that quantity, or if at that price, if we desire to do additional crack sealing, could you do it at the same price?
We can do additional.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia.
Did you state the name of the company again? I didn't hear.
Beam Pavement, BEHM.
All right. Next, we have Village Administrative Services Director's Report. John?
I'd like to request the first payment for the Village Hall generator to the MD Electric. As can be seen out there, they have installed the generator. It's been mounted. The intention was to put the transfer switch in for ComEd tomorrow. However, ComEd needs additional time to make that happen, so that won't happen until April 12th. The total amount of the contract was $56,835. The first pay request would be for $36,000. The village would be holding another $20,835 until the completion of the work.
Very good. We have a request from staff to approve the pay request of $36,000 to MD Electric. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, and a third. Any discussion?
I have one question, Mr. Mayor. John, I was just wondering, what type of maintenance agreement do we have with that generator?
We have not gotten a maintenance agreement yet.
Okay. We will be pursuing that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Next.
The second item there, Mayor, is an audit letter of engagement to secure the auditing services for the village. It is the same firm that the village has used for the past 4 years. It's Lauterbach and Amon. Originally, they had given the village another 4-year proposal. Upon review, staff has determined that it's in the village's best interest to remain flexible, and so we went back to them, asked for a 2-year letter of engagement at the same price. They did give us that, and so we're recommending a 2-year letter of engagement, which would allow the village to seek other options in 2 years.
Okay. So we have before us a resolution authorizing the execution of letter of engagement with Lauterbach and Amon to provide village auditing services. This would be resolution number 15. A motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All right. Roll call, please.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Anything further? Thank you. Do we have a village attorney's report tonight?
No report, Your Honor.
All right. Anything from the clerk?
No report.
All right. I have one kind of fun thing. I was going to save it for other business, but apparently we have a birthday in the room for today. And if you haven't guessed whose birthday it is yet, it would be Trustee Miller's birthday.
Please don't.
Happy birthday, Regina.
I think we should sing happy birthday.
Oh, my God.
So I'll be happy to start it off. Don't leave me hanging here, but...
Leave him hanging, it's fine.
And the 1, and the 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gina Miller. Happy birthday to you.
Got a blessing over there.
Thank you.
What did you tell me earlier?
I didn't tell you anything. Thank you all very
Go ahead
much.
and go with that.
39, huh? Very good.
Give or
Very
take.
good answer. Now is the time for any citizen that would wish to address the board, a third time tonight, where you may come to the podium, state your name, your address, and your case. Absolutely. This is whatever's on your heart.
Open mic night.
Well, as it pertains to village business.
Karaoke.
Good evening again. My name is Louis Alberison. I'm from 38201 North Loyola, and I'm here because about almost 2 hours ago, I had the pleasure of having the police come surround the house across the street from me, which is a house that I discussed about. It's a Section 8 house. This is 38204 that I'm speaking of. And again, I want to thank the police because they did come and do what I've been calling and complaining about, which was what looks like a drug bust. Okay, so this obviously points out that, again, I'm having a problem, I'm addressing it, and so something got done. Now, they took care of one person, but that doesn't mean it's taking care of the problem. So I just want to point that out, that, again, that helped out the little guy, but there's still the bigger picture to take care of. So, again, thank you. I just wanted to say that. And again, it was quite a surprise to have my daughter saying, "Daddy, why are the police out there?" But anyway, moving right along. My second point is, again, because I have little children, they came up to me recently with all the snow that we had all at one time last month, and they asked, why is it we have to go so far to have a bunny hill? And I wanted to ask the council, is there any possibility of maybe using Founders Park to maybe have like a snow hill?
Has that been discussed? I haven't heard that
Talked
discussion.
about it. I suppose we could get enough dirt, we probably could put something in there.
That's all I
Over
ask.
time.
Again, kids, with having little kids, all they want to do is have fun and take advantage of the snow. And of course, they're sitting there telling me, why are we having to drive so far? You know, not like the one down on Wadsworth or the one on Sheridan wasn't that far. But regardless, they want to know, why can't we stay local? So.
Isn't that in our plan to collect survey information on wish list
Yeah,
items from the
that's
public?
exactly one of the things that we're going to do, and make sure when the survey becomes public that you talk about that again. But, well, certainly, we've heard it tonight, and Parks and Rec will take a look at that as well.
And then again, on another note, again, my children, being children, they ask, why do we have to go so far to see Christmas lights? Why is it Beach Park is in the dark when it comes to Christmas lights? And I have to say, well, I don't know, honey, but that's something I thought I'd address. I mean, with everything going on down, Zion having done such a beautiful job, updating Sheridan Road, I'm curious, is that something that Beach Park would consider, or maybe not specifically Sheridan, but at least something saying, hey, let's take some pride in our township, in our village, and say, well, maybe we'd take the spirit of Christmas as well.
Maybe Trustee Gus should recruit you.
I see an appointment coming for a Parks and Rec committee member.
It's not me, it's
Get
my
on my
children.
volunteer team.
Your kids.
As soon as we get cheaper electricity.
Yeah.
He brought up an interesting point, cheap electricity. And again, having experienced that nice little storm we had that past summer, I too got a generator, so I put down the money because I figured I don't want to go through that again. But has the city considered maybe alternate energy, like wind or solar?
As far as...
Energy for the city or the township itself?
Oh, for the village, well, see, from the village itself, because of the franchise agreement that we have with Commonwealth Edison, the lights and power in the village hall and the other public buildings is something that we're not paying for. It's built into the franchise agreement that we have. So as far as putting out the capital to create an alternate energy source, we're not paying for it now, basically. We do pay for water pumping and some of the street lighting, but that's coming directly from Edison's system. No real opportunity to do that, but we did recently pass an ordinance for wind turbines and the like for small units like you might use at your home or whatever. So there's some technology out there, but I think it's still...
Asking the right guy, he's an electrician.
I think it's still in its infancy stages, and although we're seeing more and more of it without some of the federal subsidies, most of these things wouldn't be out there right now. So.
One can buy, if you want to pay a premium, you can buy wind-generated power on the market. I know that the Village of Northbrook does, just because they want to be green, they pay extra for it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Charlie Easley, Paxton Drive. I want to thank you for the snow job. I think I was just going to tell you individually, but I think you needs to be here where the guys on Public Works know. They did an outstanding job with the equipment they have. I know you're buying new equipment. I think whoever's speccing your equipment needs to look at them better. Your specs are not good for cul-de-sacs, for trucks. They're having a hell of a time on cul-de-sacs. They're trying like hell and doing a good job, but the trucks aren't made to do what they're asking. Next of all, have you considered anything of sending your enforcement officer out after a snowstorm and finding these snowplowers that are putting it back in the street? That's a major problem, especially in that heavy snow we had. They put it back, your trucks hit that rut, you tear up your equipment in the street. Something needs to be done about that, and they're getting worse. They just, as they leave, you can watch them, they just lift their plow and put it right back in the street. It should be mandatory that a person that has their driveway plowed have it all put back on their property. I would like to see something done like that. I don't know if it can be done.
We've had discussions about it, so I'm glad you're raising the point, and we have a little time between now and hopefully the next snowfall.
Yes, and I just, those guys are out there working and they need every thanks they could get. All I do is hear people bitching. I plowed snow. I know what it's like. These people that are bitching don't want me plowing for them, I'll tell you that. I hit these cars that are out there. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Well,
thank you.
Charlie, I will tell you this, and I'll say it, and I've said it many times, I'll put our Public Works crew up against any Public Works crew in Lake County. They get the job done, and as you pointed out, with limited equipment, limited resources, but they get the job done, and they make Beach Park just a pleasure to drive through immediately after the snow, not the next day. Thank you.
We're about to do that. They're going to Snowplow Rodeo.
Yeah, in fact, they're going to get to show off some of their talents at the Snowplow Rodeo. A couple of them are going down for its competition. You remember?
Schaumburg.
And that's in May, yeah. So I don't know where they're going to get the snow, but I don't want to know. Not interested.
Schaumburg can have it.
They can keep it, too. Anyone else? One more time.
I kind of want to second his motion or his thought about the plowers, because they did do a good job. But on that note, I just want to kind of point out, is there any way that they can have any help with the plowers maybe enforcing the no parking on the streets? Because I know down Loyola, when they plowed through, again, they did a great job plowing through, but there was still some boneheads that left their car in the middle of the street, and so now you have plows trying to manipulate that snow around the cars, and now you have these ruts of snow or piles of snow all over the place. And I had one of those last snowstorms we had, they actually plowed the car right in front of my driveway. Well, now here I had to call police to say, well, now get them to move the car, because one, they weren't supposed to park there, but two, now I was late to work because of that. So is there any way we can help them out, maybe get them to
They
call
do work with code enforcement and with the sheriff's deputies on illegally parked cars. Tickets are issued and, if necessary, towed. It doesn't happen instantly. They got to see it first. But the deputies are on patrol, actually, after snow falls and that, looking for some of that. So when they're not busy helping people out of the ditch and all the rest of the stuff that they're doing. So, right. Good point. Thank you. All right. There being no other public comment, I'll close that and move on to other business. Anything else from the board?
I think I forgot to thank Public Works, and I'm glad we're on the Public Works subject, because they were a huge help to me last Saturday at the pet vaccination clinic.
That's right.
Yeah, they were. We were there at 7:30 that morning, just setting up for 9 o'clock, and the staff was just absolutely phenomenal. The health department was able to guesstimate in between 200 and 250 vaccinations for some of the Beach Park families and their pets. So if there is more of a request for that as we come in the fall, I would certainly like to look at doing that again.
We received some comments from their staff that was there about what a nice facility to work in, and out of the weather and all of that, so,
It was nice.
very good. Okay, anything else? All right, and this would be a good time for someone to make a motion
So moved.
to adjourn. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Ross.
We are adjourned.